Let me set the record straight. The competitive Minecraft scene that's had the entire community in a chokehold over the past few years is a straight-up joke, filled with cheaters, staff abusing their powers, mass manipulation, and in some cases, straight-up illegal activity among some of the top players and influences within the community. Most of you are probably casual players that play Minecraft for fun. Maybe you find playing survival fun. Maybe you like to build, maybe you like speedrunning the game and slay the Ender Dragon as fast as you can. Or maybe you PvP like me. Regardless of what you do in Minecraft, I'm sure all of us can agree that the Minecraft community is not known for having the best reputation, and that's saying the least. If you've played on a Minecraft multiplayer server, I can guarantee that you've witnessed some weird stuff. Whether it be something tame like finding an e-dating couple on Hypixel, or the doxing, racism, and threats that go on literally daily in both old and modern PvP servers. It's so bad that in 2026, you probably wouldn't even be surprised to see your favorite Minecraft YouTuber get outed for some diabolical shit. It's like Minecraft literally brings the worst out of people. Before I continue, this video took an unbelievable amount of digging and effort to make, so if you could check if you're subscribed, or even just like the video, I would really appreciate it. You can always change your mind. Let me introduce you to the heart of the new age of Minecraft PvP, MCTiers. MCTiers has a complete and utter monopoly on the entire Minecraft community, being endorsed by the biggest creators, running the biggest PvP server, and so much more. So much so that by being a top PvPer, you are automatically pretty much a Minecraft celebrity. MCTiers' goal is simple. Their goal is to have a ranking system of a player's PvP skill composed of tiers 1 through 5, with high and low subcategories to point out the best players of each tier, 1 being the absolute best and 5 being the worst. The way it works is, you join the Discord server for the kit you want to get placed in, and you join a waitlist to get tier tested. When you get tested, you fight an already ranked player, and based on how you do against them, they place you. If you beat them, you'll get assigned a better player than them until you lose and get placed accordingly. That pretty much sums it up. The biggest problem with the system is that these tier testers are completely voluntary, and there is close to no moderation. While that system is flawed, that's not what this video is focused on. For high tier testing, which is tier 2 and above, consisting of the best players in a PvP kit, tier tests work differently. A player that is at the top of tier 3 fights another high tier 3 player. If they win, they get to fight tier 2s, whether they're testers or not. If they win or tie with them, then they get promoted to tier 2. The same process works for every tier up until high tier 1, the number 1 player. These tests are quote-unquote moderated by the staff of the tier list that they're tested for. This is where the real problems arise. These staff members are also completely voluntary, just like testers. And oftentimes, you don't even have to be good at the game or knowledgeable at all to be able to make overarching decisions in these tier tests to decide who the best players are. This in itself is a huge problem. The staff don't actually care about their job, and if they do care, it's probably too much, and it's not uncommon to see them take advantage of their position. They do not get paid at all, so it would make sense for your average staff member to just not care. Meet Marlow, the owner of MCTiers, who also just so happens to be the best PvPer of all time, literally tier 1 in every single game mode. Based on what I've told you already, I'm sure you can already see where this is going. Marlow is a person of many talents, whether it be Minecraft PvP, content creation, or just being an awesome person. Or so I thought, for a very long time. See, Marlow has been a very close friend of mine for a while now, and she was even my 3rd most frequently messaged person on Discord during 2025. As of the past few months, I've taken a break from Minecraft for the most part, and recently, when I came back, I was thoroughly disappointed with what I found out when I reunited with some of my friends to practice PvP with. I had been hearing a lot of accusations that my friend Marlow was cheating in PvP. This wasn't anything new to me because, as of recent, well, not recent, literally forever, there has been a massive amount of debate questioning Marlow's legitimacy as a player. This primarily started to ramp up back in 2022. This is before she was good at anything aside from crystal PvP, and there were a lot of clips circling around consisting of Marlow's crystaling being faster than anyone else believed even possible. This led a lot of crystal PvPers to believe Marlow was cheating to unfairly crystal as fast as she could. This made her later come to release the Crystal Optimizer in 2023. The Crystal Optimizer is a mod that makes placing and hitting crystals client-sided so that you can effectively crystal a lot faster. She branded this as a mod to give higher ping players less of a disadvantage in crystal PvP. But without a doubt, this is the mod that she was using as a cheat for so many months before she even released it in order to crystal abnormally fast and beat every player with ease. Before Marlow released this and branded it the way she did, this would have been straight up considered a cheat if she was caught with this. But as a leader in the community, she was able to get away with this. With this in mind, this already sets a precedent that Marlow is very likely to be a cheater, and nothing is stopping her from doing the same thing today. When I started to become active again, a friend of mine, who is a very close friend of someone who is notorious for being a very skilled coder and has made multiple top-tier PvP hack clients, who is completely blacklisted from MCTiers for a plethora of reasons, one of which being literally threatening Marlow's family in 2023, is actually friends with Marlow, secretly, today. Marlow herself even confirmed it to me directly. Very Violent made it very clear that the person they told this to, they wanted this to be kept secret. And they confirmed, in the process, that Marlow does quite a bit of things that people don't know about in order to get an advantage in PvP. This personally has me dead convinced that Marlow's doing something, even today. Thanks to the monopoly Marlow has on the community, she can keep denying and just straight up ignoring these accusations of her cheating, and there will never ever be any hard proof to come out that she cheats. As one of the owners of the only PvP server that people are allowed to test on, she will never get caught. As a matter of fact, back in 2023, if you were even associated with Very Violent, the person who is friends with Marlow now, Marlow would literally blacklist you. I think it is just crazy that they could be friends today. Marlow is a prime example of why the referees shouldn't be playing the game. She's effectively able to play by her own rules and cheat and manipulate the way she wants to, and is able to make massive profits off of it. I'm going to reiterate once again though, this is completely speculative, and there actually is not any hard proof that Marlow is a cheater, and like I said before, there probably never ever will be, regardless of whether or not she cheats. Another one of the reasons that has me believing she's a cheater is I once suggested to her uploading her unedited tier tests under a paywall of memberships on her YouTube channel. She said this is a great idea, and yet has never done it after 9 months. At this point, it's very clear to me that Marlow is hiding something that makes her so good and does not play legitimately. A few clips have been getting a few people's attention lately as well. Now, I don't know about you, but never in my 5 years of PvPing, being once ranked the best unretired player, and still widely regarded as one of the best overall PvPers to ever touch the game, have I ever seen anything like this. If you ask me, or anyone else, or even Trump, this looks exactly like cheats. Despite knowing Marlow for over 4 years, and pretty much mindlessly defending her for forever, with all of this evidence in mind, I personally believe that it is safer to conclude that she is a cheater than otherwise. It is ridiculous that the #1 player is able to have all of these accusations of her possibly cheating and never having to disprove them. If she didn't own the network, she would have had to prove her legitimacy 100 times by now. I would know because I used to get screen shared every single test I did on the axe tier list. Marlow posted a video of her buying a brand new laptop and hand camming fights on the new laptop to prove that she doesn't cheat. However, there were a ton of inconsistencies, and later in the video, it was her getting screen shared on said laptop after a tier test. To my knowledge, this is the only instance Marlow has been screen shared, but the biggest thing that makes this unfair is that she knew she was getting screen shared. The only other instance to my knowledge that she has been screen shared is where she refused screen share under suspicion that she was macroing in an axe tier test. She screen shared a full day later with her camera on, showing that she could double click legitimately. I've seen more than enough proof and reasoning that she has a lot to hide at this point. Another complaint is that Marlow over the years has changed the rules on the tier list and abused her power for an advantage. But there's one specific instance that really sticks out like a sore thumb. Allow me to show you her worst attempt at power abuse that she's done over the years. Meet Rapture, someone who you may be familiar with thanks to his YouTube videos that Marlow totally didn't have very blatant involvement in.
You think you're gonna kill before you die?
Honestly, I don't think I'm gonna die.
You think you're just gonna survive and kill everyone? Is that what you're saying?
Perhaps.
Rapture is the best maze PvPer. A mod on PvP Club, the server I mentioned earlier, the biggest PvP server and the only server that people are allowed to test on, and possibly the most blatant cheating alt I've ever seen in my entire life. In my opinion, this is completely absurd. It's either an AI chip in the brain that makes him able to do this, or he's just the most talented person of all time. Speaking of AI, listen to this man sing.
The enemy ascended beyond your control, or was it all your intention?
Okay,
They
I
have
believe you. Thank you.
whatever we've made.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, this Rapture guy is a complete joke. Genuinely, everyone on the planet sees through this, and this shit is just completely stupid. I mean, the proof could speak for itself. This guy's a cheater. It is so bad that even one of the admins on the MCTiers network told me everything in a voice call. Wait, randomizer, I want to ask you, bro, what do you think of Rapture?
This person who starts with the letter O.
So,
are they
Randolph, you're telling me,
blacklisted?
look, you're telling me you know that the high tier 1 mace is a cheater and an alter, and...
Whoa. Okay, first of all, they literally... Okay, this is not my doing at all. They literally, dead-faced, told Jai Guy that they were an alt of a different player. And yeah, it's really weird why they aren't banned right now. It's like a big discussion.
Yeah,
they
and
literally just said,
Jai Guy quote-unquote screen shared them.
Yeah, he looked at her like, oh, I didn't see any files.
Now that you know Marlow and MCTiers' blatant involvement in this scandal, we can conclude that Rapture is not only cheating and is an alternate account, but the tier list staff are completely okay with it and are actively helping him. I find all of this very interesting. I hear that this Rapture guy is an alt account of an old-gen vanilla PvPer. This reminds me of something. I want to bring an old accusation Marlow had debunked not very long ago back into the spotlight. I want to reiterate once again, though, everything here is speculative. Here's some background so you can fully understand what I'm talking about. Marlow, a little over a year ago, had a huge campaign against her within the PvP community, with this video on screen bringing a ton of coincidences to light, and ultimately convincing the community that Marlow is not the person that she presents herself to be, and her real identity is someone who goes by the name of Danger Mario, who was a player on a big vanilla anarchy server back in the early days of vanilla PvP. Marlow then went to debunk it in her video talking about her entire experience in the PvP community, which effectively cleared her name. But something has still never sat right with me since. One of the most interesting things about this video is that in the video where she debunked these accusations, a lot of people were saying that her voice sounds like an AI.
In order to illustrate this clearly, I need to go over the concept of slot priority. Every tick, Minecraft executes a loop that checks every slot for a select.
I never once considered that a possibility because of an old video she has on her channel where she spoke for the first time.
Hello everyone, and welcome to my advanced guide for Crystal Combat. I tried my best to make this guide informative, and I hope it will benefit anyone looking to learn or improve.
And it's very obviously not an AI voice changer. Those didn't even exist when the video was made. But after comparing the two, I can really get where they're coming from. And even in her new video where she has a new microphone, she sounds completely different. I was involved with the creation of this video, and Marlow told me that she went outside and recorded these voice lines on her phone to commentate over the video. But what's interesting is, in this video, she recorded with her microphone, and they sound the exact same. Marlow claims to be a full-grown adult, so it's unlikely her voice just developed a little bit, or this drastically for that matter. Maybe it's a new microphone. Well, Marlow did tell me she got a new microphone, so it's possible. But this brings me back and has me thinking, she sounds the exact same in these two videos. Look at all these coincidences. Marlow had the same PC specs as Danger Mario, the same hotbar layout, the same text while editing, this claim is really dumb, the same cursor color, this is also really dumb, Marlow being very closely connected to a series of Danger Mario alts on Purity Vanilla, and being closely related to Danger Mario's friends. There's a fair number of coincidences here, but no hard proof. This screenshot is 100% real from over a year before this expose even came out. And what really has me convinced here is that Danger Mario was a legitimate staff member for PvP Club at a point in time as well, literally when she said this. And it's known that Marlow has secretly been staff for a very long time. When she said this, she wasn't a staff member on the server, and yet she had access to the server logs. If you ask me, I think Zay really could have been onto something rather than intentionally trying to tarnish Marlow's reputation out of jealousy of her being the best at PvP, like she claimed. But the next thing I want to focus on is my personal experience. And now you can consider this video to be a little bit more of an expose, as a lot of things I reveal here are not known. I've been active within the tier list community since 2021, and ever since 2022, I've been regarded as the best player in the Axe kit. And over time have slowly built up my name to be considered one of the best overall players of all time. Despite that, I am completely barred from competitive play on the tier list. But there is a very solid reason for this. For some background, at the start of 2024, I had a player do tier tests on my account with cheats in order to get me the rank of high tier 1 in the SMP kit. Or, in other words, make me the best SMP player on the tier list. After a few days, we were caught. This resulted in all of my tiers being taken away, even though I was completely legitimately the best Axe player, being screen shared and having proved I'm a legit player multiple times, unlike Marlow. I think we can all agree on that being pretty unwarranted. A ban from the SMP kit would have sufficed just fine, but because it was convenient for the tier list and would set an example to people who wanted to unfairly achieve tiers, they decided to do it. Now, that was a long time ago, and I would actually be unbanned today if that was the only thing. The reason I'm not is because I decided to pursue content creation after I was banned from the tier list. It went well for a few months until my past caught up to me. Now, this is the main reason I am not unbanned. See, for the longest time up until this point, I was secretly friends with one of the most harmful players in the community. I'd met him when I was literally 12, and over the years I developed a very fucked up sense of humor, if you can even call it that. And to the community, on one end I was a nice funny content creator, and on the other end I was hanging out and involved with some of the most dangerous people in the Minecraft community. There are lots of instances where you could see me take part in that behavior, and while a ton of things are meaningless and far out of context, there were lots of things that I did actually take part in, such as doxing another player's personal information. Now, this is completely fucked up, and I made a video a little less than a year ago talking about it. But it is safe to say that I absolutely deserved my ban, and the truth eventually reached the masses, and I was quite hated for who I turned out to be behind the scenes. By this point, I'd completely vanished from the community. After the better part of a year being completely absent from the community and the game, I came back with a video addressing everything to mostly very positive reception. Now, I'm very grateful for my second chance that I've been given by the community, but I was also promised by my friend, Marlow, that I would be able to appeal my ban, and, if accepted, eventually be able to play on the tier list again. And now, it has been over a year since she initially promised me this, and I am still completely in the dark about a potential appeal. This is simply because there is no system in place for people to appeal their ban. This isn't about me. It's about the fact that I have been promised a fair chance just like everyone else and have been lied to for over a year about it. This is primarily because the inner framework of the tier list is completely unprofessional and corrupt, as stated before. The staff put more of an effort into censoring people who accuse the staff for being corrupt and unfair than actually developing their network. That's why, after over 9 months of being in development, the appeal system is still nowhere to be found. Now, to put into perspective how bad this is, you can quite literally make a blacklist report and entirely fabricate evidence on someone. Get them banned from literally everywhere. Not just the tier list, but PvP servers as well. And completely ruin their reputation. And unless they have a large amount of influence like a big YouTube channel, or are friends with a high up, there is nothing at all that they can do about it. I recently started PvPing again by evading my ban on PvP Club, and it is very ironic that I have beaten every single player I fought. Even the best of the best Axe players. Now tell me, what is the point of a ranking system to determine the best players if the best players aren't even allowed to play? I've gotten all mentions of me removed from the Axe tier list despite dominating it, completely changing the meta, and having high tier 1 for over a year straight until I ended up getting banned, which is the only reason I lost it. I was completely untouchable because of completely unrelated drama to my undeniable skill and influence I've had on the game. In some of the screenshots I showed earlier, I didn't mention that the tier list is literally forcing me to apologize for things that I haven't done out of pure ignorance. For a bit of background, Marlow told me that I would need to get a vouch from Limited in order to proceed with my own blacklist whenever I would create an appeal. One of the main things against me was that it had looked like I had swatted his house in one of the screenshots. But the truth is that I actually didn't, and had no involvement with such, and nothing anywhere even suggests so. A long time ago, before I ever even made my video addressing the drama that took place in 2024 when I was 15, I made an attempt to try and apologize to Limited. And his main reason for not forgiving me when I apologized to him is, well, he just didn't believe me. It's really not fair, but because of convenience, he chose that route. If he doesn't want to be friends with me, that's okay. But I should not be expected to seek his forgiveness to play on the tier list again when there's nothing that needs forgiveness. I did not SWAT his house. I have no clue how to even do that. I didn't have any involvement in anything that happened to him. And despite that, out of pure ignorance, the tier list was still forcing me to get a vouch from him for whatever reason, even though I've expressed this fact to Marlow multiple times. And while I could say a lot more, just like Dr. Donut here, I'm sort of forced to be silent. So that wraps up the video.
Bro, I have stuff to say. But Marlow silenced me, so.